Hello, and welcome back to Factorio. I'm in my Necros world, and as you can see, quite a lot has changed since last time. I had been pushing out walls, basically, to segment off the world. I had successfully pushed walls across this side of the map, this side of the map, all the way up here, then across here and down here. I'd also put a wall across here and across here, and then used artillery to clear out everything. There was a last pocket of biters over here, and I'm now dismantling the forward bombardment position for that. We still have a couple of worms. Okay, and I've got the bombardment mod installed, which allows us to rain down nicely gridded hell. So let's see, this is a behemoth worm. So it has 1,500 hit points. It needs 2 or 3 hits. If you can hit it with the poison shells, they do a good job. Oh, it is dead. Good. Yeah, there's just a few worms left, but I can go around and collect them out manually. Right, let's just double check. If we put on debug, so the only chunks which have bugs in are up here. Okay, that's all beginning to work. So I have just deconstructed all of this. Bots will go there. These are all segmented bot networks, although I made a bit of a boo-boo here. And that's mostly what's going on there. Okay, in addition to that, I have a very large worm here, which is being annoying. I'm going to have to go and kill that manually in a minute. In addition to that, here we are. So I have some of these seismic towers, seismic blast towers, dotted around the map. What these do is, if a burrowing worm is within this range and it has not yet surfaced, the seismic tower puts out a blast to the entire square that it covers and ideally kills them. In doing so, it causes damage to everything in that sector, and it's not insubstantial damage, so it can take out power poles and things. And if there are 2 or 3 hits without some kind of repair in the meantime, it'll take out the more solid structures, which is a bit of a shame, really. However, they do a good job. So what I've been finding is, if I'd spread them around the map, so for example here, I've got one there and one there. And what this did was prevented worms flanking into this wall from below. I don't know where underground worms are spawned from. I've got a feeling they may be spawned from off-map and then travel inwards. So I've got a feeling that if I put a ring of seismic towers all the way around the world, that should in effect protect me. But also, what I'm starting to do is place them down gridded. Which brings me to the second big job. So you may notice this regular repeating pattern here. If I turn on roboports, you can see it's got complete coverage. This is my tight packed grid. So let's zoom in. Okay, so this is one grid cell with the empty box here. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 roboports. Okay, it's a nearly regular grid. If I just copy the roboports alone, you can see they don't quite overlap with the other roboports. However, I've done it this way because with this placement of power poles and this bipartite grid square arrangement, I actually end up with enough space between these things to be able to tile in essential services like rail without the rail bumping into the roboports while maintaining 100% logistics coverage. So I have a blueprint book go somewhere a bit more empty. Here we are. So this is the blueprint for a new square to stamp down. You can see there is a power cable there. So if I stamp that down, everything is correctly aligned. It's quite a big blueprint. You have to be pretty much entirely zoomed out to place it. Now, the other thing about this, if we press F5 to bring up the grid, sorry, I've set the debug options so that F5 shows the grid. You'll notice these grey hazard concrete things. The colour of these is grey, it's not your eyes tricking you. This is hazard concrete from the Nektorio mod. It gives you a whole lot of colours. What I've done is place these little diamonds of hazard so that they crisscross over each corner of each grid. So from this view, you can see there is a grid here, an A grid here. Sorry, a cell. There we go. Yeah. So this is one 32 by 32 block of individual squares. And I'm designing the entire new base around that model of things tiled within integer numbers of the chunks. Okay, so if we zoom in at the corner, I'm going to leave the grids on for a little bit, although it's annoying. So what we have here is a 1, 2, 3 chunk module, which is a corner. And you'll notice that the gaps here are not equal to the gaps here. It looks a little bit ugly, but if we rotate through to the corner, okay, and then go anywhere on the grid, as long as I line up the corners like this, the blueprint will always fit without needing to move any power cables or any of the other plumbing. Okay, so it's designed so that these can be thrown down into the grid, and I have a whole book of these which I'm currently growing. So let's go all the way to the beginning. Okay, so this is the very basic blueprint. Let's go somewhere that doesn't have the grid laid down, but does have radar coverage. Okay, so this is the simplest one. This just puts down the inner corner squares. So if I was to put this down here, for example, I now have those 4 corners. If I put one down here, right, you can see we're starting to build up the pattern. So this is a ruler, really. So then from the ghosts, I can see how the alignment looks. Okay, so now we have a 4x4, sorry, a 2x2 square. Press undo 4 times to get rid of that. Okay, so the next, things are out of order, it seems. Okay, this is a Roboport chunk. Let's find somewhere that doesn't, yeah. This has no robo coverage, so we can play with it. So this is the Roboport chunk. So if I was to stamp that down, yeah, you can see that's how it is. Now, the problem is that if I stamped down the next one there, which is where it would go, there's no linking between those power networks. So that's why I have actually got this one, and this has the extra power cable out to the middle, and that allows me to tile these. Okay. So, next in the book, this is one single chunk of landfill. So if I want to landfill down stuff, this is a bad example because I've gone over the edges, but I would landfill a chunk, which is kind of neat, isn't it? And I'm currently landfilling the world because that is part of, well, that's part of sorting your world out, isn't it? Ah, we have 36 items damaged. That must have been a thumper. Yeah, so see all this black debris? This thumper just went off. Okay, now the debris is sorting itself out. Okay, so back down here to our clean slate. So we have one landfill, stone brick. So that would be a chunk of stone brick. And notice we keep the corners, right? So it's 1024 stone bricks minus the 4 corners. Then concrete, tier 1 concrete, and refined concrete. This is a north-south edge piece. The edge of the world here is marked out with this orange and red concrete. That's a danger sign, apparently. I'm sure somebody read these things off a safety manual. So because the world was fairly naturally generated, some of the edge of the map had water, so I have to blueprint down the edging where there's gaps. This also fills in... actually, let's grab this, because this is an east-west. There we go. For now, I'm just going to put that into my inventory. Okay, sort that out later. Back over here. So, that's an edge. This is a T-junction, train T-junction. Again, that tiles around all the other furniture, as it were. And again, you line it up on chunks. Then we have a single square of rail, straight rail, and a double rail with signals in the middle. A corner, you've seen that. And then we're back to the chunk corners. So I'm building up a library of these blueprints, which are all chunk aligned and which collectively allow me to chunk tile my world. Now my world is 2048 square. That's 64 chunks, I believe. How many of these do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Maybe I can't do the maths very well. But regardless, the idea is that this will evenly tile the entire game world. And then the first thing I'm going to do is construct a railway which goes all the way around the outside. So we have our outer ring lane. Then from the outer ring lane, I am harvesting resources. So this is a copper mine. You may notice we've got green mining drills. These are uranium mining drills from the mod pack. They have much better productivity, so I can wait until, let's turn that off. I can wait until later to upgrade my mining productivity. This is a bot mining station. I'm attempting to build a mega base with not a single belt and using bots minimally, but one place where I think it does make sense for me to use bots is in the mining. Now I could put trains directly through the middle of the ore patches and mine into the trains, but these ore patches are small, so I'd be left with small trains. I've done some sums on the back of a piece of paper and then a bit of playing in creative mode, and I don't believe that I can build the mega base I want to build with small trains. So look at this train. It's a slightly odd arrangement. So I've got locomotive, 2 cargo wagons, locomotive 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is a 4/8 train, except interspersed. And what this allows is a bit of space between each of these carriages and the next 2 carriages. And it just so happens that is enough space that you can put a 12 beacon build lining up with these 2 carriages, and the overflow either side of the extra beacons can be soaked up by the locomotive. So if you, there you are. Yeah, so let's do it this way. So if you imagine that I have an assembler there, and then we will mark out beacons with these smelters. Right, and then there'd be some other beacons around the back, and we'd probably move all this back from the train a bit to give us some room to work and all that stuff. But there's room now to be able to fit one of these here without these builds bumping into each other in any way. And in practice, you can't pack your beacons this tight if you're going for 12 beacon builds. They expand out. So this allows us to potentially fit 12 beacon builds tight up against rail carriages. To which I can hear you saying, what? So my plan is to see if it is possible to build a mega base style base where what happens is that trains come in, unload into buffering boxes, then into a beaconed build for whatever it's building, and then out the other side into a buffer box, and then load up a train. So that there is only ever movement of inserters between containers, there are never belts, and we don't have any logistics bots for the actual builds. I'm genuinely curious how complicated you can make these kind of builds, but with a bit of playing in creative mode, I managed to build a 1K red science build using this format of train with a single build. Now, I know red science is the absolutely simplest thing, but that was going from ore to product. So I'm going to give it a go. And I think we're going to do this progressively. So I'm going to build out some builds without all the modules and beacons first to get science working, and then build it up. But before I can do that, I need to terraform the world. That means getting this pattern tiled across the entire map. And it means doing things like sorting out landfill and sorting out the remaining worms, because they suck. And that's it, really. So the other thing I'm doing is raining down terror. Okay, now we appear to not have... Let's see if placing down a... Okay, so it seems roboports have gone down, but big poles have not. Is there a problem here? Oh, it's one of these segmented bot networks again. So there are no big power poles in that network. Let's head over here. Right, the way to fix that is to find... Here. I could just merge all the networks, but I really don't want to do that until I'm tiling the world. So let's put that down. And that offends me, so let's clear that. See how long this takes to build. It may happen just in a few minutes. So the other thing we've done is got this iron outpost working. So this is a bot mining iron outpost. It's just using the old format trains. Okay, and we are slowly working through all this stuff. Yeah, we'll... Goodness knows why that's not being picked up by construction bots. I guess they're all a bit busy doing other things. Okay, did this build. Sorry, a bit dizzy going around from... So this has been placed down. I want to check I have construction bots in this network. Yes, I do. I have a worryingly large number of bots in this network. Oh well. Alright, so we have these. In fact, Yeah, I think I'm just going to merge these networks. There's nothing they're flying over that really matters. And it looks like it's just going to be a bit of a pain to deal with otherwise. Right, so let's take out those arms. Let's take out that. And then I can just let these buffer boxes empty. There you are. So alright, so they're now merged. And you can see a whole load of bots have just taken off from here with building materials. Okay. See if this gets built. If it does, I'll be very happy. I'm tempted to set a whole load more building jobs going, but I really shouldn't. Let's put this there. I just want to give this the best possible chance to get built. Okay, we have some more stuff coming. And I've arranged this so that there shouldn't be power until I actually put down a last power pole. I hope I've done that correctly, otherwise we'll get premature firing, which would be very embarrassing. The other thing I've done is deconstruct all the other armaments that I could see around the map. So all this stuff should be in storage and not need manufacturing, which is a good thing. Okay. So we're waiting on this power pole. This is pretty cool watching all this stocked up. So what else? Oh yeah, so I had a bit of an issue with storage. It's that sort of late game place where you have all the tech unlocked, but you don't have the infrastructure in place. So I've just been putting down more storage. That's obviously going to go very badly wrong at some point. And as you can see here, all these belts are backed up. This is all backed up. Nothing much is happening in science because I have no gold science coming in. The reason for that is I don't really have any blue chips, and the reason for that is that I don't really have any plastic. There's no plastic because there's no coal. And the reason there's no coal is because this is my coal patch. And you can see the issue, right? There really isn't much here. There's a few individual places where I can put down miners, and I will do that as and when I clear up this site. But there's really nothing here that is worth the effort of putting down new mining drills for. What I need to do is tap a new coal source, and I've got a feeling the only one is here. So it's easy enough to tap. I can just put down a train and then run it in over here, maybe a bit of spaghetti, but I can then drop it into these lines. I'll probably just bring the train in along over the top and plumb it in directly here. So that would give me more plastic. I'm also going to run this around the outside, and we'll put in one of our 4-8 train stops here. I'll do bot mining. But to do that, I would like ideally to bring this network up. And to do that, I'm in a bit of a catch-22. I need the red chips, because red chips go into roboports. And I don't have the red chips for roboports because I don't have the plastic. So the next job is going to be to put down a cheap 2-4 train. So the format I've been going with trains is this slightly funny arrangement where I have a forward and a reverse followed by 2 carriages for carrying materials, followed by a trash carriage. And that seems to have worked fairly well. It's kept up with demand. I had to put in a stacker for these ones because the iron ore, I ended up having 4 trains for that. This is my original iron outpost. As far as I can tell, it is very nearly dead. It's possibly just these 2. So we've got 59 units there, 2.6k there, that's it. Yeah, that really is it. So I can't even put anything down there, so it's in the middle of that. So when this is gone, it's gone. This train is filling up very slowly. And we're getting to the point where we won't have materials on the map, which is going to be a problem. So we have the copper down here, 4.9 million. We've got a 4.6 million down at the bottom. We've got 5.2 of stone. We've got 17 million left of 20 there. We've got some uranium here, 7.7. This uranium is down to 4.6. This is 14 million copper. So that'll keep us going for a little bit. 8 million coal. That will keep us going a little bit longer. And at that point, I'll need to start thinking about adding in the next block of this world, which is going to be a little chunk of Death World with biters at least this dense, but with maxed out resources. So we'll see how that goes. Right, how are we doing here? It appears the network connection, power network has connected. So here's to hoping that it doesn't accidentally shoot. Oh, well, it won't, will it? Because this is charged and hasn't shot. Okay. I wonder what all these bots are doing. They're carrying all sorts of things. Okay. They seem to be coming out of hyperspace, which normally means they've got issues with charging. They're getting this far and stopping. Okay. So the fix for that is normally to find a way to add some roboports. However, I don't know if they can charge from roboports that aren't part of their network. We're about to discover. This is... no. We'll find out. That will get placed down in a moment. Right, how's this going? Not too bad. So I don't know whether I want to rain down hell. Those who've got 3 or 4 each, that's not really going to get us there. And we had... okay. I've got a Mark III suit on, which is kind of handy, and I've pimped it out with legs, basically. I could add more legs, but then I'd have trouble actually doing anything without disabling them. Alright, let's head over here and put down this stuff. So can these bots charge? And it doesn't look like it, does it? It looks like they will only charge off their own network. Right, where are these drifting back to? Yeah, they're drifting back into this network. Even though there are perfectly good charging points here. That's just freaky. Okay, so how could we fix this? I think the simplest fix is to bridge these 2 networks and cut off this and this. And we'll see if that solves the problem. it's a pretty rough way to do it. I didn't really want to bridge the networks this early, but I've now got an inventory full of useless kit. And now all of a sudden they're coming down here to charge. Well, I learnt something new today. I didn't know that you had to be in the same robot network to use the roboports for charging. These are still not in the same network because these are part of... I'll show you on the map. Okay, so this is all one network. This is part of the same network as the main base, but this is segmented. So they still can't use these places to charge. Go figure. Alright, we should now get stuff built over there. However, I would like to go kill a very naughty worm. And we will need to use... so, one of the modded weapons we have is the sniper rifle. And it turns out that with poison ammo, it's just about the most dangerous thing there is. So the machine gun does rapid fire, but although it sprays lots of rounds, it is the sniper rifle that does the damage. Okay, so let's head over here, see if we can find out. Yeah, so that is a colossal worm with 7,500 hit points. Okay, it's going over. It's going. So I'm taking about 300 hit points off it each time. Which is pretty good. It's going to take a while still. Ah. Nope, I'm dead. Ah, dear. These worms, nasty. I did add the death marker mod, but yeah, it seems I'm not very... It's incompatible with something else I have, and why am I running this way? I want to go down to my corpse. I don't have a spare suit here, which is annoying. The T3 suits are quite expensive to manufacture, and so I was using them sparingly. Let's head on down. Oh yeah, and I'd forgotten how slow it was walking on this map. In the meantime, hopefully, our barrage of death is being built. And clearly, my Pistol of Shame will be suitable for taking out a colossal worm, obviously. Try not to get run over by the rail, because that would be annoying. You can see how much faster it was getting around with the automated legs. Right, so it's filling up my inventory with stuff, which no doubt is very useful, but isn't what I need. In fact, what I need is this. I need something to fire poison ammo. Okay. And I don't have radar coverage there. I do have it here. So let's hope that that is within range. I'm going to have to take it out though, because I need my corpse back, and is also killing robots, and robots cost plastic, which I don't have a lot of. There are also 5 of these thumpers in my corpse, and they are stupid expensive to manufacture. Okay, so we've got some ammo on its way. We will see if this is within range. Okay, so if I pick up my targeter, I don't have my targeter because it's on my body. That's just annoying. I've got to hope that he is more interested in shooting at passing bots than he is at shooting at me. I say he. I don't know if these monsters are sexed or gendered, so... Right, there's a lot of firing going on here. If I step in any of it, I'll be dead. See if we can find my body. I was down here somewhere, I think. Oh, there we are. That's where I was wishing I still had long reach. Okay, do I have my sniper rifle? That is a lot of rockets. And it's dead. Result. Okay. Do I have anything useful in here? Yes, I do. Okay, so let's... Oh, there's another one. Well, that's just rude. Right. Okay, I seem to have rather a lot of stuff here. I think stuff is the appropriate word. Don't need a logistics bot. Anything else here that matters? Yes, my sniper rifle. Okay, I don't need these seeds. They're just annoying. Okay, there we are. While he's shooting at other things, I'll just carry on laying into him. Okay, he still has 4,000 hit points. I've just hit him with a lot of poison. We'll see how that goes. And you can see the health just plummeting down to 1,500, 1,500, and dead. But you can see how much you have to hit these things to kill them. Okay, so I want more of this. That was there. lots more because I am trying to cover the world. Good. Okay, and we don't have the Roboport coverage because the beast killed it. Let's put down one of our blueprints. There we are. And let's put down a thumper because I don't want to have that happen again. Right, what are these complaining about? Power. Okay. So I think that's everything. No, it's not. Ah, there should be 2 power cables on these things. There. Okay. Sorry, it's one of those designs which has sort of gone wrong with the retelling. And over here. Great. So, how are we doing up here? This looks to me like it's largely done. That has 5 and it has 11 in the box. I'm going to call that done. So, let's clear out the last of our biters. And it's on an island, so we don't need to worry. Let's start off with this one. It's just as a tester to see if they work. I'm going for overkill because it's my opening shot. There we go, all gone. So I like to start from the back corners, but we can just take out that. Wait for it to get ready. Look at this. You can adjust the bombardment remote to space out where the hits go. Right, all these particle effects are just nuts, aren't they? We have category BMOS bigs. There should be some category 5s, maybe even some category 6s. So this level of bombardment, the first shell doesn't kill everything. Particularly these hardened spitter spawners. They have explosive resistance, fire, and physical resistance, 350 health. But they're pretty hard to kill, even with this kind of firepower. So they have to take hits from multiple shells to kill them. My UPS has gone through the floor because it gets quite upset with this amount of death. Okay, so we can rain down death now. Here, let's not waste too much. At some point we may run out of shells. So I'm firing 3 kinds of shells. There are the explosive shells, the napalm shells, and the poison shells. And between them, they do the job. Okay. Let's take that, and that, and that, and that. When you do this and they have a path to attack, it's pretty brutal. They come in very big swarms. And particularly the category 5s, they take a lot of putting down. They don't go willingly. Alright, we have some spawners here which didn't die from the earlier attacks. I found with artillery it's useful to work from back to front. The reason is the artillery shells, as they're going over illuminate what's in front. They never illuminate what's behind. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? If you're into mass casualty warfare. The poison clouds do a really good job at killing off the bugs, and they're pretty much the only thing which will take out spawners. Okay. So that can go. Sorry, they're pretty much the only thing that takes out spitters, not spawners. Apologies. Okay, let's carry on up here. I don't know if we have enough shells to be able to do this, but we'll give it a go. And the danger is if you don't make a clean go of it, when you come back, they have set up new bases. So with these kind of jobs, it's really an all or nothing. There's no in between. Do or do not. Okay, so we missed a couple here. These are really upset now, aren't they? Good, those spawners are gone. Let's take out the whole of that back. So the mod I'm using here is the artillery bombardment mod. That gives you two types of remote. One which lays down a grid of fire like this, and one which targets individual entities. I haven't unlocked the individual target yet because it costs 25,000 research, and as I do not have a mega base, I do not yet have the capacity to do 25 units of 25,000 research. That would be 12.5 rocket launches, which would take a considerable number of hours at my current tech level. However, it is one of the things I will be doing once I transition to a mega base, because that would be, well, 6 minutes of 1k research. Not an insignificant investment of resources, but compared to what we will be spending later on mining productivity and worker robot speed and so on. So you can see the splashback from here killed these two spawners, but that's by no means guaranteed. They don't always die. Okay, so if we take those out, you can see the health bars here are not going down. Alright, let's have another go at this corner. We've got a spitter here, a spitter here. So these, that's down to 8s for, that's a behemoth worm gone. That's all gone. So the map view lies. These worms are definitely dead, but they're showing up as still alive here. Let's have a look how we're doing for, so quite a few of these are out of ammo. These are okay. Okay, so don't particularly want to waste them, so I'm being a little bit judicious about how I place these hits. It just all lights up, doesn't it? And the FPS goes through the floor. I don't have the most powerful PC, but it must be the particle effects that they reckon they've optimized. It must just be moving a lot of entities around that don't really need to exist or be rendered or have a full life cycle. This much fire and smoke and damage waves is just not very fair, is it? So that's a medium worm, so we'll be able to take these out. Well, I'll come back to those. They may disappear as collateral. Right. So let's take out that area, that, that. Great. This isn't just wanton destruction, although, you know, that helps as well. I actually need this cleared because this is on my critical path, putting the rail around the outside. Okay, we have something there still. We have something up here. There, there, there. Okay, so these are running around. I need to try and find out where they are congregating so I can bombard them. One of the benefits of these is that it actually does damage to the bugs. So, come on. That's just rude. Chasing them around. They must be the last few. Okay, we're going to kill some more with the poison. Oh, grief. Stop it. Come back. There we are. Got them. And you'll notice there's different coloured. So these are Behemoth ceramic spitters. They have resists. There's they look like worms. Let's double check. Okay, we're down to just the last few. They have a tendency to bunch up in attack parties, and then you can kill them. But if they're not doing that, or if they're running around too much because they're upset, then there's not a lot you can do. Well, anyway, that's it. So I think we have all but liberated the last patch of land. I'm going to leave this now because I can take these out with conventional weapons once I start putting landfill up. And I think next time I join you, I will either have got bored of this world, or we will have this world terraformed. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to show you is from the Nektorio mod. So this is the lawnmower. If we zoom in over here, I've applied it here and not here. So the lawnmower removes all the doodads. So let's do it to here. Okay, it's just blanked the floor. And let's remove these cliffs. Sorry, that's wildlife, isn't it? Cliffs. And I'm even, in Nektorio you can manufacture floor tiles. So I'm even tempted to change the underlying floor tile to one that's faster to walk on, so that the whole map is as fast as possible to walk on. That would have a cost because the manufacturing of tiles is expensive. Well, when you're doing 2,000 square of them. But it is tempting. Right, so all this is continuing to build. We are very nearly at a corner. There's no radars down, so I can't show you. But then this rail will go around the edge and follow up, meet up with this, and then we can hook up this train here, which is our iron train. Once we have iron and copper, we can set up our first two manufacturing sites, which are green circuits and red science. I'm actually very tempted to just do green circuits and turn the whole of this world initially into a big module factory. But that's all for another day. So thank you very much for watching. I'll keep you abreast of developments as they develop. And in the meantime, Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in a week or so. Bye-bye.